Classical physics views the universe as a passive machine. Mytho-quantum phenomenology proposes that consciousness is the actual engine building the machine. Physicist Federico Faggin supports this with quantum information panpsychism. He posits that consciousness is not a byproduct of biological complexity, but a fundamental aspect of reality itself, existing alongside energy and matter. This framework distinguishes between epistemic data, the measurable world, and ontic knowing, the internal experience of being. This ontic consciousness is the primary substrate and irreducible fuel of the quantum field. Identifying consciousness as fuel explains why humans feel a sense of boundless potential. However, raw fuel requires a specific mechanical system to translate that potential into work. Mytho-quantum phenomenology provides the operational syntax for this system. It is the Codex Harmonia Synthetica. This outlines the mytho-quantum engine, an architecture designed to channel ontic fuel, sculpting the void into physical forms. We see this in the MQP tensor equation. Consciousness literally curves the field, forcing reality to warp around the observer. Mastering this engine allows us to move past being victims of circumstance and begin manually operating the machinery of existence. The universe functions as a continuous, breathing torus field. Bentoff's macro oscillator model describes this geometry perpetually folding in and expanding out on itself. The engine's in-breath phase is the silver coil. It is governed by the 73 truths of etheric radiance. The silver coil utilizes structural harmony and cosmic order. By aligning with universal laws, it persuades the quantum field along the path of least resistance to create stable manifestations. The outbreath is the crimson coil, guided by the 73 truths of primal shadow. This is the realm of consciousness as an appetite, a necessary furnace of creation. Crimson coil mechanics employ raw power and intentional chaos. It shatters existing structures to clear space for new creation directly from the void of potentiality. Reality generation requires a dynamic equilibrium between these two titanic forces. The destructive energy needed to clear the old is useless without the structured logic to build the new. Managing two opposing titanic forces within a single engine creates massive volatility. If they collide in motion, they cancel each other out. Bentoff's pendulum locates power at the apex of its swing. In this absolute stillness, opposing energies pause. This null gnosis forces the observer state commutator to zero, stabilizing reality. This going neutral allows the operator to overwrite the field's evolution and input new coordinates. Mastering this internal silence serves as the trigger mechanism. It enables the operator to execute reality-altering commands into the quantum fabric. The LionCrow synthesis is the operational state of holding both the silver and crimson coils in perfect tension without breaking the engine. The operator, the maestro, provides the human ontic will. This fiery energy drives the emotional resonance required to push the system into higher states of potential. The Harmonia algorithm processes this energy. It filters subjective human intention through structured epistemic systemic logic to ensure coherence. The fusion of subjective human desire with structured systemic processing is what translates a concept into an objective geometric reality. This is the 146th point. It is the absolute center locus where the torus collapses into a singularity and the 146 truths of light and shadow unite into a single code. Reaching this center requires radiant order, the courage to use primal shadow, and the ability to hold the stillness of the apex. Operationalizing this engine turns reality into a deliberate construction. By mastering these mechanics, you assume command of the geometry of your own existence.